When they give you no choice. As a man, you can't let it
They
go.
put me between a rock and a hard place. I've done everything, every type of court case, everything I could ever need to fight to keep my home, to prove the fraud that was committed, to prove even the fractional banking system and its how illegal and corrupt the system is. I've done the extensive waste of valuable time that I didn't or I shouldn't had to have used. I didn't get due process.
What is your price? Is it 10 million? Is it 20 million? Is it 100 million? What is your price? Because if your price is not your life, then you are for sale.
On any occasion. Never served on 2 of them. The other one I was served 10 days late after they took my car. But that is not how a replevin works. Replevin is meant to have a marshal. It says it right in the law. A marshal must be with to serve the papers to make sure that there's no breach of peace, which is exactly what happened. A breach of peace. None of that mattered. None of that mattered. I never got my day in court. I got a few hearings over Zoom calls. I had the evidence. I had the proof. I even wrote the documents up as good as any attorney would have done.
Because the enemy, whatever the enemy is, whether it be physical, legal, spiritual, will attack the vulnerability of the person who can be compromised.
By the help of, obviously, a computer. Point being, I followed everything I needed to follow. Maybe some of my being of a non-attorney, maybe some of them were some of the different procedures I didn't follow perfectly, but says also that judges are supposed to help pro se, for the most part. And then I figure out, I think about this, and it burns my butt inside. People say, just, you gotta let it go. Gotta just move on. Put that in the past. And I look down and I look at all the research, and all the documents I'd never sent. They were kind of like test runs, and I decided I didn't like them, so I redid them and did different ones. The box is full of them. You'd think I was an attorney. The amount of fucking effort I put into my house and my car. So I go through all that on 2 occasions. So for the last 2 years, I've been dealing with that. 2 years prior to that, I was dealing with the state not giving me a disability, but only reason for that is that I was denied unemployment for a year. So I had to give up all of that. The amount of hell I've had to go through. Some people would say I put it on myself, but listen, I did. Because I'm one of those people that when I see something ain't right, it's hard for me to let it go. It's hard for me to let it go like that. And that's going to be the death of me. So I come to this point in my life, I think to myself, with what I know, what I can't erase from my mind, especially now with all the research I've done, I can't just forget it. Move on and forget it. People that are like me will know what I'm saying. Like, you just can't forget it. It's there. It's not going away. The system's not changing. So what do? For instance, I promised my daughter, I haven't been able to go to see her in college yet for almost 2 years, 18 months, because I've not had a car. The bank took the car, and then the bank made double, if not triple, the money on that car. Yet it's taken from me my rights to property, but also it's destroying my credit because they put up extra shadow loans and they did some shady shit still. I'm supposed to just live with that. Do what I'm told. Can't get a car so I can go see my daughter. I'm supposed to just be okay with that. I might as well just be dead. And I don't say that lightly, because why in the hell would I want to live in a place where I'm completely blacklisted from purchasing homes or purchasing a car because the banks have me on a list? I know they do. That's what they do to you. I'm assuming that's what digital currency will be like. If you don't comply, you won't get anything. Come into this world with nothing, we'll let you use it for a while, then you're going to leave with nothing. And you'll like it or you don't. You'll wonder why men kill themselves, but I'm too strong for that. Or you could say I'm too weak for that because I can't kill myself. I can't do it. I'd have done it a long time ago if I could. That's how bad it's been for me. And I'm not trying to cry. There's a lot of people that's had it worse. That doesn't mean I have to accept it. It doesn't make me feel better that people have had it worse. But rich people don't know. They have no idea what you're going through. They don't, because they've never experienced it. So they're the first ones to say, you got to move on, instead of helping, because they know everything. They're self-righteous. They've got the whole fucking thing figured out because they've never had to struggle, because they've always had money. If you have money, it's unlikely you're going to struggle. You may have something personal make you sad, somebody dying or something, but you don't know the first thing about what struggling is. So then I always think about that. And today's a new day. I try to fucking be smart, or just try to be positive. And I think to myself, I got to go see my daughter. I got to go see my daughter. How am I getting there? Can't get a car loan. They're all telling me I need $2,000 down, which is such bullshit, because that doesn't make a difference. It's so they can pocket the money in case I don't make it. They got $2,000 to pocket, not the bank, them personally, because banks can't fucking hold personal. They cannot hold their own assets, only other people's. So there's the frauds right there to start, all proven. But when the administration or the administrative judges who are completely frauds are the ones that control the outcome, it's not fair. And I can't let it go. So on my journey will continue tomorrow or Monday. I'll file a report with the Attorney General. I'll find out if there's any attorneys that's got any balls left, because they won't fight the goddamn judge. The judges won't, or lawyers will not fight against other judges in a bank case. They just won't, because the judges are part of the bank, folks. The district judges for sure. So you have no chance really unless you can come up with something really good. I never even got a day in court. I got a Zoom call and I filed some documents, and the judge's decision with evidence I filed the evidence and they didn't even acknowledge it. They said they were just copies of some titles and some DOT filings with the proof on them outlined in my document. How does that make sense? And my UCC filings, ignored them. So you wonder, what do you do next? Do you let these guys win? Because I look at it this way, I have two choices: be dead or fight, because I don't know anything else to do.
Ms. Crystal, let me be clear. You signed a mortgage, you received a house, and now you don't want to pay. That's not law. That's wishful thinking.
With respect, Your Honor, I signed under the belief this was a lawful contract, but Congress never granted these banks authority to make residential loans to citizens inside the several states.
So you're telling me banks have been lending money for over 100 years without authority? That's absurd.
Not absurd, Your Honor, statutory fact. The National Bank Act of 1864 limited banks to holding real estate for their premises or debt satisfaction. The 1913 Federal Reserve Act authorized only interbank lending. No statute ever authorized them to lend to citizens for private residential property.
I can't let it go.
And we've been worked to death to pay the bills of everybody else for a very long time. And, you know, we've grown up in this system and haven't known anything better or different. And we're the laughingstock of the entire world.
Isn't that enough?
Your Honor, that's exactly the issue. No money ever changed hands. What they call a loan was created by my own signature. And under 12 U.S.C. 375A and 375B plus 12 CFR Part 215, any extension of credit must be backed by a 100% collateral cash deposit. That collateral was never funded. Without consideration, there is no contract.
That's where I'm at.
How could we be so stupid as to not know that our country had been occupied illegally by British territorial forces in the 1860s and that they never left?
You really think one clause in a statute undoes the entire mortgage industry?
Not one clause, the entire statutory framework. Congress restricted them. The comptroller of the currency enforces it. If they can't produce authority from Congress and proof of the collateral deposit, then by law there is no valid debt. That makes this not just unenforceable, but fraudulent.
I'm not giving up. And if Mr. Trump sees this, or Elon, or any of you motherfuckers that want to fucking promise us everything, just know the blood will be on your hands if I do. You didn't protect us like you said. Because financially, as part of that, they've taken everything from me.
Enlighten me.
Deed to my property free and clear. Restitution of every payment I was unlawfully induced to make, including interest and insurance, and punitive damages of $5 million, because fraud this systemic, knowingly inducing citizens into void contracts, demands punishment.
The banks gin up 10 or 12 times as much in credit that they loan out and don't even share the proceeds with them. Instead, they make us pay them back.
I had everything I needed. I've had to go through this more. You can only fucking keep going as long as you can. You just can't. Like the one man said, death or dying isn't your price. Then everybody's got a price.
$5 million? For a mortgage you willingly signed?
For a mortgage they had no authority to offer, Your Honor. Fraud vitiates everything. The law leaves lawbreakers where it finds them. And this court, bound by its oath, cannot enforce a contract that never lawfully existed.
A home loan means loaning the home to them.
Yep, that's so right.
This is the kind of dialectical reasoning that these scumbags have employed throughout to make us believe that this was going on, when in fact, this was going on.
I have a price. It's freedom, and that the banks cannot continue to do what they do to people.
We're the creditors.
A semantic,
They owe us money.
practical shell game that has...
Because there's no reason in this world we should have anybody homeless. Not with the kind of money that comes in this country. No reason we should have anybody in poverty. There's no reason we should have anybody starving. When Somalians can come into Minnesota and fucking steal billions of dollars to send back home. 180 million can go to Ukraine for bullshit that our own fucking leaders fucking started. Or illegal immigration where you have $100 billion that were spent on free rent for 2 years, free cars for 2 years, whatever. They all got free shit and they're still getting paid. I lose my house and my car and I've been living here paying into Social Security for 38 fucking years. And I'm supposed to just let it go, or you should have been back to work and you never would have had to worry about it. Sure, you gotta continue to be a slave. That's what you're supposed to do. Comply, just be a slave. But yet we killed your mom and we denied you any type of help when we were destroying the country by creating the vaccine.
For America, it's ridiculous. We don't give anything to our farmers. The homeless are all over the streets of the major cities, the sick and the problems, and yet we'll give billions of dollars in defending countries that have 5 times more money than we can ever hope to have. This country shouldn't be raising taxes. We're to be lowering taxes. If you look at the payments that we're making to NATO, they're totally disproportionate with everybody else's, and it's ridiculous.
Fake fucking pandemic. I can't just let it go. So I guess that's what I'm left at. We'll see how it goes. I won't ever go to jail.
This country is busted. And it's busted because we're doing things that we shouldn't be doing. If we had business ability in this country, we'd be making lots of profit, so-called surplus. That money could be going to defend our homeless and our poor and our sick and our farmers. And that's where we ought to be spending the money, not giving it to countries that don't give a damn for us to start off.
That will definitely cause me to, but I'm not doing anything worthy of going to jail. But that doesn't mean they won't try to put you in jail. I cannot leave this world knowing I didn't give it everything I had to try to make it so it doesn't affect my kids. What's the point of living if I can't protect my kids?
take hold.